press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Before I say anything else, I must say this thing that usually there's this cliche, there's this thinking that the transformation that can happen probably for an artist is usually from TV to movies and not the other way around. There's a generic kind of a perception out there. But then I love people who actually kind of go away from that, stray that away, keep that away, and then do what they feel like doing. So if you feel like working in a TV show, if you like a script, there's no reason why you should not. So tell me about the journey, because I think it's a wonderful thing to do.
Absolutely. I have never had any restrictions on myself where it comes to TVs or movies or sound industry. I think when अपने आप को कहीं restrict किया था, because as and when whatever work excites you at the end of the day is work. So that's what
absolutely.
So that's why, because जब Anupamaa also came my way, I hadn't done anything in TV. So इसीलिए I was very careful, and I heard the script first. जब मैंने script सुना का show था, everything fell in place very mystically and beautiful. So I think there could have been a reason for me to say no to this TV show and make a from films to TV. I wanted to.
Wonderful. And हर एक creative artist के लिए या फिर एक actor के लिए, there's always that one particular point जहाँ पे जाके आपको, when you read a script, you understand from that particular point कि हाँ यार ये चीज तो मुझे करना है. So with the character of Kavya that you have, which was that one striking point or feature जो कि देख के आपको लगा कि हाँ यार, this is something I cannot let go at all, ये तो मुझे करना ही पड़ेगा.
जब मैं काव्या का कैरेक्टर सुना डिटेल में, तो it rang a bell. उसी सेकंड पे I was very sure, क्योंकि क्या not a cliche character, especially जब हम एक ऐसा देखते हैं who's playing the other woman, or जो घर वाली बाहर वाली में जो बाहर वाली वाला रोल होता है. If you hear something like that, एक automatically आपका perception बन जाता है कि अरे ये एक negative track होगा या इसका एक typical type का reactions होगा. But काव्या का बिल्कुल भी ऐसा नहीं है. That is what made me say yes to. But she's a very positive girl at the end of the day. She reacts to situations as per situations keep changing in her life, and at the same time she's very independent and she's a very focused and self-made girl. So I think आज की date have an opportunity where you can bring across this side of women, which is very much needed to know about. Good to play a role which can be so influential also in the wider. That's why I was.
I think I really like the answer. When you say that it's about a character which probably has the power to influence. Influencing it's a huge deal. But there's also this another part where probably actors, they read a script and there's this relatability factor, जिसके वजह से also a lot of people probably say yes to certain things. So when you read the character sketch of Kavya, how much did you find it actually similar to the real Madalsa out there? Did you find any similar traits with the character of Kavya?
In fact, many similarities I could find. अगर 100% में से I think 95% similarities है. Only leaving the fact.
That's a great number.
Yeah, that's a lot. So I think the only difference being the part where I can't relate is that she's having an extramarital affair, which is not right. वो एक चीज है जो मेरे, उसके अलावा जो भी कुछ का कैरेक्टर जैसी मैं हूँ, I have always been a very independent girl, and I've always worked on my own and tried to do things on my own always in my life. Been a very ambitious and a focused girl. So ये सारी चीजें obviously काव्या में भी है, and she's a very positive soul. She doesn't believe in planning and plotting. वो जो एक typical होता है ना लोगों का, oh my god, जाल बिछाओ and लोगों को अपने जाल में. Kaavya is not straightforward, no nonsense type of a girl. तो ये सारी चीजें ना काफी मैं relate कर सकी performance wise also, इस role wise. It became easier for factors for me to, मुझे ज़्यादा I don't have to work on it, but only the fact to play the character nicely, the way it's supposed to come out. I'm thankful that it's coming. It should come out and not going in the negative, because it's not negative.
Absolutely. And you were talking about so many factors with which you can relate, and just that extramarital affair part which you cannot relate. I'll just let go of that obviously, but you are this married lady out there, and it's so difficult, I would say, because especially for a woman, मुझे personally ऐसा लगता है, हालांकि I'm not really experienced in that regard because I'm not married, But I can understand by the sense of it that it's so difficult for women in general to on one hand handle their personal life, their married life, and on the other hand also simultaneously keep it going in their professional work. So how have you actually balanced both ends? Because it's very difficult, and it's very important rather, I would say, to kind of draw that thin line of difference between the two, because once you're at work, you're at work, and when you're at home, you're at home. So how do you personally ensure that you draw that line so that you can enjoy both the worlds?
Oh, that's a very good question, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Isme the most important thing that matters is family support, because at the end
yeah,
of the day, family is priority. So you will never do anything which they're not comfortable with you doing at the end of the day. So
yeah, yeah,
कर पाई हूँ उतने ग्रेसफुली अब तक, क्योंकि मेरी फैमिली की तरफ से मुझे पूरी तरह से सपोर्ट है. May be my mom, may be my father-in-law, may be my husband, may be everybody, so everybody's been very supportive since day one after when my married life started. तो इसीलिए मुझे professionally and personally balance करना मेरे लिए easy हो गया. I didn't have to think okay, oh God, it's going to be something that I'm doing. It was already something all my life, and I was very well accepted with that also once I got married, because my in-laws have also been in the film industry, so they understand, उनको पता है, and they definitely value that a lot. So इसीलिए coming from that background, so it was easy for me to balance it because I had the support.
Very interesting. And when you say that you got that family support, there's this very legendary man out there in your family, and I am a huge admirer myself. Mithunda is what everybody calls, but I'll call him sir because he's way, way, way senior to me. My love and respect to him. I don't know whether he's going to watch this or not, but if he watches this, Mithun sir, we love you. Thank you so much for being what you are. And he's one person who is really, really encouraging of talent. So when it's there in his own family, I'm pretty sure the amount of support the person must be getting.
Exactly.
As far as you said that it's important to kind of have that line of difference between both the lives, but at the same time you can't really differentiate in your case particularly, because they are also a part of the industry, you're also a part of the industry. So kabhi I want to know that sometimes when you get a script, you on one hand you're this creative person who has this ability to analyze on her own, but at the same time your own father-in-law is a legend in this regard. So kabhi ghar ke family ke paas, do you sometimes go with certain scripts and take advices ki nahi, papa, should I do this, papa, should I do that? Does he come up with interesting trivia from his own?
Yes, which is so helpful for me, because so many times pehle also, whenever I used to hear a script, it used to go through my mom. I used to always ask my mama, you think this is right? You think this is going to be right for me? Etc. But now also when I discuss it at home, and the feedback I get na ghar se, usually 9 on 10 times we're all on the same line only. हमारा सबका जैसा ही होता है. And when I get feedback घर से भी मिलता है from papa, or so this is something which I will without any difference, because it's I've been getting the positivity from home. So that
and that kind of shows as well, because the people with whom you are living, if they are having that leap of faith and confidence in you, it kind of reflects in your performance outside as well. So I think it's the entire body language that kind of changes, and as far as I'm talking about performances and everything, all that is hunky dory, everything is fine and perfect, but there's this other side of being a creative artist as well, where on one hand you get all the sorts of appreciation that you probably just love and adore, and on the other hand there's this constant trail of criticism, on unnecessary trolling. I won't really say criticism is probably good in a constructive way, but trolling is something which we never really encourage. But I think people in the media industry, people who are in front of the public all the time, they have to go through that. I want to know from your end, what is your mantra so that you can keep all the negativity away, कि आओ बेटे तुम लोग को जो भी बोलना है तुम बोलो, लेकिन मैं सुनने नहीं वाली, आप लोग जाओ दूर जाओ. But how do you do that? It's easier said than done,
Well, now social media has made it very accessible for everyone to know what's happening in each other's lives.
Yeah.
Constantly being watched, because on the click of a button you can right now know what's happening in life.
Yes.
See, I think trolling is it's definitely not a good thing, which an actor will never want to be trolled at or anything of that sort. But I think as personally as me, whenever I read anything good about myself, I feel so happy, of course. But whenever I read thing which is not so good and not in my favor is also a part of the process, because I am in the business, I am in the whole profession where good things and bad things are written about you. So if I'm just favoring one side of it, अगर मैं इसी part पे हूँ कि नहीं मैं तो सिर्फ अपने बारे में अच्छा ही पढ़ना चाहूंगी, मैं बुरा नहीं पढ़ूंगी अपने बारे में, it's gonna bog me, upset about to come out of it. So ये growth नहीं है, it's just it's kind of taking me back from where I started. तो इतने साल जो progress होगा मैंने शायद अपने career में, that will all go back to zero if I just into any sort of bad comments. So इसीलिए when I read good comments, like it makes me happy. If I read anything which is not so good, I try to work on myself to kind of make it better maybe. But at the end of the day, if I'm not able to do anything about it, I'm like, okay, fine, it's a part of it, and I'm going to take it as a good thing, as a positive thing, but not be upset about it. Rather move on and not give anybody an opportunity to dislike something about me. If that makes sense.
I think, of course it does. And, I think what